What's going on, guys? Today I want to do a little 1-year review on my Ferris Z3. I got it at the beginning of the year. I've been using it and my Turf Tiger. We got about 225 hours on it this year. Just wanted to do a little overview with some issues that I've had, some things I like about it, and then a couple things that I'm not a huge fan on about it. Sadly, it's had to go to the shop a couple times in its first year. At first, I had this chute side pulley or spindle. The bearing in it just completely fell apart, failed, and they noticed that one of the pulleys was already going bad. So they went ahead and replaced them together, and it only had, I want to say, a little over 100 hours on it then. And then recently, the pivot axle bushing in the front, apparently it seems like it's a decently common issue that it just fails. And the deck had gotten way out of adjustment. And they took care of that, got the deck all adjusted back, and luckily, I mean, it's all been covered under warranty. The dealer's been good to me, but I don't know about y'all, but this past year, it's just been a struggle getting parts. Each time it's had to go to the dealer. I mean, it's sat there for at least a week waiting on parts mainly, which is really nothing you can do about it, but it sucks when you go buy a new mower and it's got to go to the shop 2 or 3 times the first year. I mean, overall it's set in the shop probably a month, if yet not more, which is just not a good look, you know. Didn't buy a new mower for it to go sit in the shop, so I'm hoping year 2 with it goes a little smoother than year 1, but I guess we'll see. Now we're going to continue on to things that I have not been a big fan of. Compared to my Turf Tiger, I've been running the Turf Tiger for years. That one's got like 1,300 hours on it, and my last one had almost 3,000 hours on it when I got rid of it. The Ferris cut quality is just not on the level of the Skag. The velocity deck is just, seems to me, on a whole nother level. It just seems like it almost seems like it cuts it and spits it out, where the Skag keeps it in there a couple times, chops it up and cuts it out. Stripes better, cuts tall grass better, it cuts wet grass better. There's no areas where the Ferris seems like it outdoes the Skag when it comes to cut quality. I mean, if you got a well manicured yard that gets cut every week and you stripe them side by side, you know, then they're on par with one another, I'd say. They're really close. But if you don't have the perfect grass that gets cut every 7 days, then you want the Skag, at least in my opinion. Continuing on, I am not a huge fan of these handles. I wish they were a little bit thicker. I think they'd be a little bit more comfortable if they were a little bit thicker and had a little bit more padding to them. You can see the Skags are a good bit thicker to hold on there. Just my personal preference, I think they'd be a little bit more comfortable if they were a little bit thicker. Going along with that also, it's nice that it has the adjustability that most of the other stand-ons don't have. But I mean, I don't consider myself to have small hands, but I don't consider myself to have big hands either. To me, this is a little bit far of a stretch if you're got a big yard you're going across and you're trying to book it. Some days just irritates my hand a little bit on that stretch, just doing it all day. If I'm on a smaller half-acre yard and I got a bunch of trees, I move it back. That's about perfect to me. It's a whole lot more comfortable of a ride. and I kind of split it back and forth between if I'm in the top notch or one down. And it is nice, it has that adjustability, but personally for me, the farthest one is just a little bit of a stretch. And also, all the sit-on or stand-ons are kind of awkward to stand against, I think. But this one just sits, it's kind of in the, I'm about 6'2". It's a little bit uncomfortable to me for right where the top of the seat is. I don't think any of them have, but I think what they should is have a seat adjustability where you could slide it up and down to go up to your waist or like your belly button. I think it'd be a whole lot more comfortable if the seat had, or no, it's not a seat, but if it had some adjustability up and down, I think that would help a whole lot. And last on the list, I'd say, of things I really just don't like is so far, overall quality is a little bit still in question. Like I said, it's been in the shop a couple times this year with just several little issues. I know parts fail and sometimes you get the Friday unit, but when it's at the shop more than my 6 or 7 year old Skag with 1,300 hours on it, it's not a good look on year one. I was hoping to get a new mower just to have something that was reliable, not in the shop 24/7. And so far, the Skag's been taking care of me more than not with the Ferris, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We're hoping year 2 goes a little smoother. Oh, and the last thing, a lot of people say that this is really good at riding hills. Between the two, to me, the Skag just rides hills so much better. Straight up and down, the Ferris rides good, but side to side, this thing, everybody said you'll get used to it and it'll get better. I don't know if they just haven't ridden on a Skag Turf Tiger specifically, but this to me just kind of nose dives and wants to take off on you. Where the Skag, I can ride anything. I have a couple yards that I have to use the Turf Tiger on just because the Ferris cannot hold the hill. So fair warning to anybody that says that. It might ride hills a lot better than other stand-ons. I have seen other people say that, which that might be true. My buddy has a John Deere, and he says it's terrible on hills. And I know on the Skag V-Ride, I felt like it was weighted a little bit higher, and the stand was a little bit higher. I felt like I was a lot more over top of it. So I would think that this would ride better. But again, I haven't used the other one, so I can't confirm or deny on that. Now, on to things I like. One of them I kind of already hit on. You got the adjustability in the handles, the several different settings. I want to say probably runs about 10 mile an hour on the top setting. I'd say it goes down 2 mile an hour or so down each setting. And then you have the adjustment in the actual part you stand on, which is nice to have. I don't think the V-Ride or the John Deere or any of the other ones that I can think of have that adjustability, which again is a nice little thing to have. I know when I was buying this, I was mainly comparing it to the Skag V-Ride, and I know that the thing that is nice on this is it has a bigger tank. I want to say it's 10 or 11 gallon. Honestly, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I know that with the 37 Vanguard, me mowing by myself all day, I can go 2 days pretty much always, no issue, on a full tank of gas. The 37 seems to sip gas pretty good between the two. Skag weighs about 1,500 pounds. It's got the 35 Vanguard. Ferris weighs about 1,000 pounds. It's got the 37 fuel injected. So when you're 500 pounds lighter and you got fuel injection, obviously helps a lot. But overall, the Ferris is really good on gas. Also nice on the Ferris, and that is only on the Ferris stuff, if you know anything about Ferris, is the oil guard system. 500-hour oil changes. Obviously, big cost savings, or at least can be a pretty decent cost savings at the end of the year. Nice little thing to add on. And finally, price. I am in Kentucky. Not sure. I'm sure it differs around from state to state, and even if you got good connections on the dealer. I actually picked this up as a demo, but a brand new one was, I believe it was 10.7, and I'm pretty sure they're going up next year because steel prices gone so crazy this year. I'm pretty sure a new one was 10.7, and a V-Ride from my local dealer. They had some beginning of the year sale, and I want to say it was like 11.3 or 11.4, and once the sale ended it was close to 12 maybe, which I thought was really high. And actually I picked this one up for $8,900 out the door with a couple hours on it, not much. It had 20 or 30 hours on it, I believe, if I recall correctly. But anyways, even that as a demo, I was looking at $800 or $900 cheaper than a V-Ride, and it had the oil guard system. I think it had a little bit of better warranty than the V-Ride. It's got the pivoting front deck. I know some people aren't the hugest fans of it. Some people love it. But it had definitely seemed to have a couple things that the V-Ride didn't have. A couple advantages. And it seems like the main negative is just not having that velocity deck. But overall, not a bad machine. That is my 1 year review on it. If you like the content, if you like lawn care, if you like Skag or Ferris, I plan on posting some more videos. Like to do a little update on the Skag, let y'all know how it does. But if you like the video, please like and subscribe.